You've seen us catch online predators.
Oh, please, God, please, sir.
Men scouring the internet for sex with young teens.
I swear on my daughter that I was just planning on coming over here to talk.
This time, our hidden cameras are in Florida.
He's in the laundry room naked. He's walking into the living room,
where we encounter the strangest parade of suspects we've ever seen.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
I know.
You know.
With footage you'll have to see to believe.
You want to explain yourself?
This is Predator Raw. This was the fifth investigation we had done, but the first one in the South. We were in the city of Fort Myers, in a beautiful neighborhood, big house, so it would seem kind of an unlikely place for this sort of activity on one level, but when talking to the chief of police there, he had realized from hearing from parents and teachers that there was an issue in his town. We hire perverted justice as consultants for their expertise being decoys in the chat rooms. You know, they really know what they're doing, and they have this down to a system.
Tell you got me?
I'm always blown away by the hidden cameras. I mean, this stuff is really James Bond type technology. In Florida, we have a lot of cameras, something like 13. We even had one in a palm tree that could turn 360 degrees and could zoom into the license plate on a car at the other end of the street.
He's coming around back. He is on the steps, opening the door. Oh, he's just going to come right on. Watch it, Emily. He's in. Heading towards the kitchen. He's in the kitchen. Call out.
Hey, I'm in here.
Keep going. He's coming fast. Call again. Call again.
Hey, I'm about to put on my bra and panties. Come on in.
Good job. Hold on. He's coming around the desk, heading towards Chris.
This was the second time that we'd worked with Emily as our on-site decoy. You know, naturally, in the previous investigation, which was her first, she was a little nervous. With that under her belt in Ohio, she was much more confident in Florida.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Have a seat over in that chair, please. There, please sit down. Put your hands up top so I can see them. What are you doing here?
Just coming to meet somebody.
Who are you coming to meet?
Just a girl.
A girl named?
I'm not even sure what her name is.
How old is this? I'm not even sure what her name is.
15 or 16.
15. And how old are you?
30.
Kenneth Thornton had driven about 2 hours to meet a teenage girl. He was a construction worker, and he talked about things like tying the girl up, other very explicit sexual acts.
It's okay for a 30-year-old man to come to a home where a 15-year-old girl is alone. Why?
I guess it's really rather not.
You'd really, I'm sorry?
I guess it's really rather not.
You'd rather not what?
No, it's not okay.
And what were you going to do once you met?
Just talk.
Just talk. Well, there's a lot of talk going on here. You get very specific about some of the sexual things you want to do to her. You ask if she's tried anal yet. She says, no, that would hurt. You say, use lubrication. It's mighty considerate of you. What were you thinking about here? I mean, help me out. Help me to understand what's going on here. If you don't talk to me, I can't understand.
Sir, I'm just trying to meet people. I moved down here not too long ago. I'm just trying to meet people.
Can I tie you up? Did you bring rope with you tonight?
I have rope in my car.
You have rope in your car?
Yes, for my job.
For your job?
Yes, I also have a bunch of tools back there.
I asked him about some of the things he said online. Then he starts to open up. And then we find out that, in fact, he did bring rope. He did bring duct tape. He brought all those things he talked about using in sexual acts online with this teenage girl.
You talk about using the rope in various sex acts with this 15-year-old girl. What would have happened if a 15-year-old girl was here and I wasn't?
Same thing that's happening now, just talking.
Just talking?
Just talking.
Do you see why that's very difficult for me to believe, based on this chat?
Yes, I do. That's the God's honest truth, though.
But why should I believe that?
Because I have a 6-year-old daughter that I'm trying to see.
You have a 6-year-old daughter?
Yes.
How would you feel if a stranger came into your home?
I hate it. I hate it.
You could get upset with some of these guys because of what they had up their sleeve, but you know, I'm not there to do that. I'm there to figure out what these guys were going to do and what was going on in their mind. And I think by understanding what goes on in the mind of a potential predator, you can better understand how to protect kids when they go online.
It sounds like you're encouraging her to do something she's not currently doing. Read that, where those marks are right there, out loud.
Can I see you naked?
I'm sorry?
Can I see you naked?
Go on.
On Friday? Yeah. What do I get out of it? Pleasure-filled night.
Now, those are your words, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why should I believe that you didn't come here to have sex with this girl?
Because that's not my intention. I swear on my daughter that I was just planning on coming over here to talk.
Did you bring marijuana?
No.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring condoms with you?
No.
No. Not in your car?
No.
Do you watch television?
Rarely.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet kids on the internet. If there's anything else you want to say, we'd like to hear it. If not, you're obviously free to walk out the door you came in.
Get down! On the ground! On the ground! Get down!
Police, when they searched his truck, found duct tape, rope, condoms. Could those things have been in his truck because of his job? Possible. But when you consider in his chat that he talks about using it, you know, with this teenage girl, you have to wonder what was going to happen if we weren't there and a teenage girl was. When I asked Fortin about what he brought, he denied having, you know, condoms or drugs. Well, as it turned out, he in fact did have drugs and condoms.
I think any narcotics on you, sir.
I'm sorry?
I think any narcotics on you.
I thought they took that stuff out.
In Florida, we were able to, you know, videotape each element in the process, from when the guy showed up at our house to the arrest. We had cameras at the processing center, then we had cameras in the courtroom.
Kenneth Fortin, you're charged with attempted lewd and lascivious battery on a victim 12 years of age up to 15 years of age and obscene communication by use of a computer service to seduce or solicit a child. Does he qualify for the code offender?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's probable cause on all charges. There's a $40,000 bond.
I was just going over to hang out, and I felt like I'd be more of a big brother more than anything.
Big brother. So you're coming over to be a mentor.
Turn in the driveway, Dell. Turn in the driveway. Lights are still on. He's sitting in his car in the driveway, Dell. He's sitting in his car in the driveway. Dell, he's in front in a convertible. He's coming for a boy. Dell's doing it. Hib is on the phone with him right now. Dell's going to talk to me once he gets to the house.
In Fort Myers, we had some guys in their 20s, we had 30s, 40s, 50s, we had guys in their 60s. So Ryan McIntosh fell into that mid-20s category, someone who admitted online that they were looking for a liaison, talking to a teenage boy who had just come out as being gay, offered to help him through that process.
There he is. All right.
We'll watch TV or something. I'll be right back out, all right?
All right.
All right, cool.
In Fort Myers, Dell would play the role of the male decoy. Dell is a contributor with Perverted Justice. She is one of the most senior people there. She has a number of roles. She helps coordinate the investigation with FRAG. She also acts as a decoy, both on the phone and, you know, if needed, in person.
Why don't you make yourself at home here? Have a seat. What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good.
What you doing here?
Come and hang out
Hang out with who?
with Rob.
And how old is he?
With him.
14. And how old are you?
23.
23.
Why do you think it's appropriate for you, as a 23-year-old, to come here to hang out with a 14-year-old?
I was just coming to hang out.
Coming to hang out. Now, you had a pretty lengthy conversation with him.
Several times I did.
Yeah, several times. When I was growing up, my parents used to say, don't talk to strangers, don't take rides from strangers. That's still good advice. But it's not enough today, because as we see with Ryan McIntosh, the potential predator uses this grooming as a way to gain the child's confidence. And after a period of weeks talking to this potential predator, the child no longer sees them as a stranger. You know it's against the law to solicit somebody who's underage for sex on the internet.
Sure.
Which was pretty much what was going on here.
Not tonight. I didn't have that conversation tonight.
You didn't have that conversation?
No.
With this boy who said he was 14?
I said I didn't have it tonight. That's what I said.
You didn't have it tonight?
I did have it maybe a couple minutes ago. We talked about it, sure.
Ryan McIntosh, in the very last conversation, before he shows up at the house, he sort of retreats. He's more cautious. He's more about, well, let's see how it goes. We can hang out. He leaves it open. And I think when we see this, we see someone who might be suspicious about walking into an investigation. You talk about penis size, whether he's got pubic hair. Mm-hmm. You say you're horny. You say you're masturbating while you're talking to him. You talk about hooking up, and you say, if you don't tell anybody, you suck my
I said that?
And then you say, I don't want to go to jail. Do you recall that conversation?
I'm sure I did say that.
The reality is, once that solicitation is made, even if it's earlier, you know, crime has been committed.
I was just going over here to hang out, and I felt like I'd be more big brother more than anything.
Big brother?
Yeah.
So you're coming over to be a mentor?
In a way, yes.
In a way.
And I'm sure you've heard that 20 billion times.
20 billion and one, counting to 9.
I'm sure. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I was not, I'm sure you hear this from everybody, but no, it was, I had no intention of having sex with him tonight. I'd like to educate other people and let them know what it's really like and what it's not like, and that they don't have to because they're the only child and they haven't had a big brother or a big sister or whatever the case may be.
But here's the thing, and most people would say that there's nothing wrong with helping somebody
Sure.
come to terms with who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the issue here is not gay or straight.
Right.
The issue here is adult-child. So why didn't the chat on the internet reflect what you're telling me now?
Well, I didn't think necessarily have that conversation tonight. I was going to just come out and hang out and see what he's like.
McIntosh was pretty nonchalant about the whole thing. And I don't know whether that's because he thought he had covered himself in the latest chat. Maybe he just came to terms with the realization that he knew what was going to happen next. Well, I got to tell you, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
I know.
And you know. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the previous stories? You have. And what was your impression of the earlier stories?
Nothing. They were very good coverage.
Good coverage?
They were good coverage.
It's probably the second or third time that it happened. And, you know, it kind of blew me away. I mean, here's a guy who's caught in the investigation, who's complimenting us on the investigations. So it's almost like, in his mind, he's saying, those other guys are bad guys, they deserved it. But me, you know, it's unfortunate that I surfaced in this, but I really wasn't going to do anybody any harm. Obviously, you're free to walk out the door you came in.
Okay. I'm going to walk out and they're going to complicate out there.
That's not up to me.
You know, yes. Okay, thank you.
When he left, he knew what was going to happen. He walked out the back door and just kind of waited for the police to get there.
Get down! Get down! On the ground.
Didn't resist in any way, and they arrested him and took him away to processing.
Ryan McIntosh, you're charged with attempted lewd and lascivious battery on a victim 12 years of age up to 15 years of age, and obscene communication by use of a computer to solicit a child. There's a $40,000